Hadron here. Two eyes are better than one, right? This is DR1, and as you can see, we got two eyes. I have a clover leaf on top of it, which I've done this before, and traditionally, last time I had a battery hanging off the back. But since then, I modified that wire there, that way I could charge off of that connection, because I was constantly losing the little hole right there, that little hole, little pin thing to charge it. I was constantly losing it, so I figured I'd do that and I could charge off it. So now we're not gonna have a battery off the top of that. I'm gonna tap that, and it's not even gonna tap, that's gonna plug and play. We're gonna plug that right into there, and we're gonna give it a flight and see what type of flight time we get. We got my goggles right here, we're gonna run them and check it out. All right, really quickly before we fly, you can see our tail light is on, our top green light is on, the cloverleaf all-in-one is on. We are ready to go. So we're gonna go. We're gonna turn this on and give it a little flight in here. Alright guys, here we go. This isn't going to be the most entertaining FPV flight that I've shown you, because I've shown you guys some pretty cool FPV flights in casinos and lobbies and whatnot. This is just basically going to be a time run on this. See what type of flight time that we can anticipate on not carrying a battery but connecting directly to the onboard battery via that connection that I showed you. So as you can see, the drone room's a total chaos, but it's organized chaos. And eventually, maybe at some point, we'll clean it up to where we can see more of the floor, because the floor is almost not visible. But again, not really about the drone room, although that's really big focus on the camera here, right? It's more or less about this drone. I am flying in the first stage. I'm not flying in the second stage. The second stage is very peppy. A lot of speed to the second stage. The second switch over there, where you can actually fly outside. I've flown this outside with FPV on it and did quite well. So you can see how controlled I'm able to fly this towards the end. We'll start picking up some speed. We'll start doing some laps around the room. I don't have any gaps set up, so we'll try to adjust our height here to show you some other things in the room, like the ghost drone up there that we had for Halloween, which surprisingly actually has some pep to it. We're a little bit higher up now, so you can see different things around in the drone room. And dude, this is definitely doable. Definitely doable if you didn't have access to buy online. If all you had access to was maybe a hobby store that sold an all-in-one camera and Walmart. This would be a cheap way to FPV. This would be a cheap way to learn how to FPV. This is a little bit larger than your 010 drone that I learned to fly off of, but this has two different modes, so you can grow on this a little bit. You have your basic mode that I am in right now, which you can see is extremely stable, extremely smooth. We're not bouncing up and down. It's easy to handle. And then you have your second speed rate, which I've showed you guys outside me flying FPV. So that's, dude, this is definitely a good flyer, and as you can see, we're picking up our speed a little bit, kind of doing some tight turns here, and it's able to hang. And again, all we have is the all-in-one camera on the top of it. It's plugged directly into the connection that I've tapped into the drone to charge off of, because I lose the little pin that plugs into the body. And dude, it's not affecting the flight. And actually, this flight versus carrying a battery on board is comparable. It is very comparable. So it's up to you. If you want to carry a small battery on board, you could do that, or if you want to make the connection that I made, you can do that as well. That'd probably be simpler, because again, they're getting close to the same flight time. So there's really no huge uphand to either or, carrying a battery on board versus plugging directly in. The only advantage I see is ease of installation. You only have to install the camera on and then plug it in, versus install the camera on, install a battery on top of it, and then make that connection. But again, whatever way you want to go, it's going to average out to just about the same flight time. I did look at my flight video with the battery on board, basically doing the same flight test that we're doing in here, and it got about the same time. Guys, I'm Hadron, right there. That's me. If you haven't subscribed, do me a favor, smash that subscribe button. If you're going to fly safe. Have a wonderful day and take care.